What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. Hope you had a good holiday weekend. Back to work. Many of us are in the midst of a wild heat wave. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, regardless of the weather, hit the like button. Let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, Shapeways is closed. If you're not familiar with Shapeways, they were a 3D printing company where you could upload your own designs and they would print it for you in a number of materials. But also where they got more of their footing in the market was that as a creator, you could upload your files and then somebody else could purchase them from a storefront that was created on their website. And with that, you could add markup so that you could make money from your designs without having to do any of the printing or messaging or any of the order handling at all on your own. So it was a popular thing for creators. And when it started, it was booming because they priced things in a way that was very appealing to the market to try and grab hold of market share. But as time went and they needed to turn it into a profitable company, things changed. The company was open for 17 years, so it was not a short run. But at this point, they have filed for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which means that they are ceasing operation. All of the C-suite level people have left. They're all gone. Like CEO, CFO, CTO, all of those people, they're all gone. They turned in their keys, walked away from the business. Now, it'll still have to go through the normal bankruptcy stuff where there'll be somebody assigned to it from like the bank who will go through and trying to figure out how to, dissolve the assets and get them to the debtors. But yeah, they just close. The other crazy thing is that myself being a person who had files and a storefront on Shapeways, never heard anything. No email about any of this. Just saw it on a news site, saw it on Instagram later. And that was it. That was how we found out. At one point, I was doing a fair amount of business through Shapeways, but that has since passed since the pricing had continued to raise over the years. But still, you would have thought that maybe an email would go out to people to let them know, even if it went out the same time as the official announcement. But no, nothing whatsoever. Super wild. Now, if you go to their website, the website is still stood up. You can still navigate around some of it. I did notice that when I tried to go to the marketplace or specific areas of the marketplace, I would get a timeout warning, like they shut that off. But I've also noted that if you go to the digital download section, it'll allow you to go all the way to the cart. Add to cart, you go to checkout. Now, I didn't actually check out, so I don't know if they'll still take your money or not. No idea how that works, but it seems that nobody would be behind the wheel over there, at least from what we are seeing at this point. The trend of this business was, the writing was on the wall, as you would say. It was listed on the New York Stock Exchange in 2021, and it pretty much peaked there. From there, you don't have to be an economist to understand what this badly represented graph looks like. It's going the wrong way. So it, eventually reached zero. They owed more than they made, and they didn't find any feasible way to continue the business. So you will have to find alternate sources for your contract 3D printing, things like that. There are other places already, and with the availability of 3D printers in the market nowadays, it was one of those businesses that you maybe could see this coming. Pretty crazy news. Something that you often saw referenced in the RC world is no more. Next, Trucks of Freedom. It is that time of year. Vanquish Products is running their Trucks of Freedom promotion again. Now, what this is, it's a mystery box, basically. You're guaranteed to get a truck and a bunch of parts at a minimum. You're gonna get a certain amount of value for your dollar, but you're gonna pay significantly less than that. And in these boxes also, you'll find a number of specialty items available in colors that you can't buy typically. So that is the promotion. Now, these go up and they go fast. They sell in minutes. So I can't help you exactly with when that is going to be available, but check if you're watching this on Tuesday. Towards the end of the day on Tuesday, you got a pretty good shot at finding them listed. So keep watching for that. The Vanquish live stream is Tuesdays as well. Probably be able to find some more information in that on the Vanquish Products YouTube channel. So, and speaking of that live stream, this Tuesday will be about the new VS410 and VRD builders kits. Now, a couple of years ago, roughly a year and a half ago, the VS410 builder's kits were first used. Now, those were a bundle put together and boxed as a builder's kit, but it was never an official product that was running for some time. Now, that's different. You will now find the VS410 builder's kit. This is a straight axle builder's kit, but it is just your chassis, axles, links, suspension. Doesn't come with body, bumpers, wheels, or tires. So pretty basic, stripped down version. And alongside of the VS410 one, you'll also find a VRD straight axle builder's kit. Same thing, no bodies, bumpers, wheels, or tires, but you'll get the VRD chassis, F10 straight axles, VFD transmission in both of them, and sliders on both of them as well. So it'll give you a good base to build either, some sort of comp truck or some sort of scale truck without having to get everything. These are not available yet. However, these will be available in mid-July. When those are officially available, of course, we'll circle back and speak about it here on the Scale News Update, but watch for those. Currently, those are only coming in the Trucks of Freedom packages. Next, Spectrum has got the second release for their new ground radio that is on the way. This is another very dark video showing you very little other than the fact that it is likely a radio. Maybe shows a little less than the first one. The first one at least showed some cars running around and you just assumed it was going to be a radio because it's from Spectrum. This one, dark corners, you can see the wheel, and you can see lights flashing that aren't just one color. So, full unicorn is going to be available on this. From the first teaser, you could kind of deduce that this is going to be a, flagship, best of the best option that they have in this area. But the full information is showing that it's coming to come out on the 11th, which is shortly, this week. So we'll be able to speak all about what it is by next Scale News Update. So stay tuned for that. And for the next tease for this week, Holmes Hobbies. But theirs is the most straightforward ever. It's like a screenshot of their photo saying, hey, something new's coming in a few days. Or something huge is coming in a few days, whatever. Just it's like, hey, we're going to release something here soon. Watch out. It's going to be gold. Which may not seem all that crazy. But if you at the same time think that there's likely a product coming that could have, at a minimum, 100 hours, likely hundreds of hours of work behind it with development and testing and, well, no marketing. That was not in the budget yet. But testing and developing and discussing and retesting and redeveloping over and over. John's just saying, hey, watch here soon. I'm sure that it's going to be awesome. John does great work. Looking forward to what is coming in a few days. And speaking of hundreds of hours, if you want to help support the hundreds of hours that I pour into this channel, a little bit extra, you can join the channel membership. It's available. There's a link in the description below, or you can hit the join button next to the channel name below and help support the channel a little bit. You also get some extra behind the scenes videos. It's kind of telling you what's going on, things like that. This week, I'm going to shoot a little extended Scale News Update commentary after the fact. So I'll put that up as a separate video for channel members. As always, I appreciate you guys who do support channel membership. Also, if you're a channel member, you get all the videos a little early, like the Scale News. You get it the night before when I finish filming and editing this. So again, thanks as always. If you're looking for more information on that, you'll find it below. And then don't forget, live stream Takeover Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Matt and I have some discussions of some upcoming projects that we have to nail down. We started talking about it last week, but as things go, we have to get that finalized 100% so we can get on to the next mayhem of some sort. So if you're interested in that or interested in anything else, the goings-ons for the week, come check that out. Love to have you view it live, check in on the chat, or watch it after the fact. Thanks again to RCMap.io for supporting the Scale News Update for this month. RCMap.io is an app that you can get on your phone, or you can go to the website, whether it's on your browser, on your phone, or at your desktop. But what it has is places all over the world for you to go RC crawling at, trailing, good rock piles, stores, tracks, all kinds of interesting places. There may be areas near you that you never crawled at, and it's an easy way to discover a lot of information. Feel like I've been into crawling pretty seriously for quite some time, and I found a ton of new spots using it. But I did go through and put together a list of 5 of my favorite spots, and I put links to those in the description below, so you can go check those out. I created some of them were already on the map, but you can go find the spot, see if there's a video or photo attached to see what you've got in store for you. Maybe it's worth the trip. Also, they're running a giveaway. The last month's giveaway concluded last week, and they've got a new one starting now. So they're giving away a new Vanquish Products H10 Optic this month. Just go sign up for a free account and you're automatically entered to win. And if you add spots, you're entered even more. You can go check out all of the details on their website for full information. But as always, thanks again to RCMap.io for sponsoring this month of the Scale News Update. Next, I don't often cover a lot of like the knockoff type stuff. This is a pretty clear knockoff of the deluxe portal transmission, but it's made of titanium for one, which is an odd choice. Is while titanium is strong, it's also about twice as heavy as aluminum. So it's going to be a much heavier version of the LCG transmission that the deluxe portal transmission is supposed to be made of. But then they also went through and did like the laser welding all the way around all of the bosses. Now, it's not constructed of plate and welded together or anything like that. They just did this to add that because, which you often see, like remachining done on edges, specifically in anodized aluminum on overseas product. It's something that they just really like to do. But this is the first time that I've seen this treatment used for a decorative method on a part like this. Very odd. It's not inexpensive, of course, and it's titanium for just the sake of it being titanium. Again, titanium is twice as heavy as aluminum, so making this out of titanium doesn't make a lot of sense. The aluminum is obviously strong enough, but one of those things, like every once in a while you run across something and just goes, huh, interesting. Axialfest West is just over a week away at this point, so if you're thinking about making the trip out, you better get your plans nailed down here soon. Now, pre-registration is closed, but that doesn't really matter as you can register at the event itself. So not a big deal if you didn't get tickets in advance, but make sure you go read through all of the, rules and stipulations of camping and is all of that. So definitely worth just touching base on, make sure you know what exactly you're getting into. It's at Rob's Resort again, where it's been the last 2 or 3 years at this point, which does have amenities. So you're not super basic, but if you're camping, you are camping in a field. So be prepared for that. Also bears sometimes. So be prepared for that. But beyond that, looking forward to seeing a bunch of you there, having some fun up in the mountains. Hopefully it's less hot. We've talked about HTech a few times in the past. I think we covered some SCX10 parts that they made originally, and maybe a couple of other things I can't remember. But recently, with the release of the Vanquish H10 Optic, they have done some machined aluminum body panels, hood, roof, and both doors. Now, this is similar to how the Ripper was originally done with 3D machined panels. These are significantly thicker, as you can see, so they're not going to be as light. You're not going to dent them or get that type of visible damage on them, but you are going to have an aluminum look. And it also includes an aluminum grille that has a slotted design that may be familiar to some other slotted designs you may have seen. But these are going to be available in a handful of colors, possibly. On their website now, they're available for pre-order only, and they're $250, which is, while that may seem somewhat ridiculous, that's really cheap for 3D machined body panel stuff like that. Partially because it is being left thicker, so that makes it a little bit easier to do. But if you want, that machined body panel look, it's worth taking a look at. $250 isn't bad for that type of thing. Your opinion may vary, and I'd love to hear it. What do you think? Is it worth your $250 for an aluminum body? And next, WPL. You may have heard me talk about them in the past. They've released a new D series. This is the D14. It looks a lot like the D12s that you used to see, but this one is now 4-wheel drive. They packed a whole 4-wheel drive system underneath of this little thing, and they did a pretty good job. They've posted some photos on the social media showing like the undercarriage without all the parts on there, so you could see the drivetrain and how they did it. It looks pretty cool, and it's still like $69. I mean, nice. It always surprises me what they can do for how little they can do it with these things. Now, they are like maybe a step above toy grade, but barely, but they're still pretty fun. And the detail is great. They're just ridiculous in their own little way. Don't expect much, but expect more than you would think for 70 bucks. Talking about $250 body panels a second ago. So like, I don't know. I've always liked these things. I have a handful of them, and there's a ton of 3D printed like parts that people make, body kits, lift kits, slam kits, just all of it. Like, people do all kinds of stuff with this. I assume that this will fall right into that as well. So if you're interested in finding out what they can do or what you get for 70 bucks, check out WPL. But that's going to do it for this week's news topics. For this week's question, though, talking about those body panels a minute ago, I want to know, what is the most expensive RC item you've bought that wasn't a complete car? So like a single item, what was the most expensive thing? Whether it be a super expensive radio, that's probably really close to the top of a lot of people's lists. Spending $500, $600, $700 on high-end Futabas, not necessarily that rare. You get from there, could have been some wild bodies. Electronics are going to probably be another one that is a possibility for people. But I want to know, what is that one item other than a full new car that you spent the most on? I plead the fifth on what mine is. But that's going to do it for this week's Scale News Update. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, helping support the channel every week. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Consider joining the channel membership if you want to hear the additional rambling and extended commentary of the Scale News afterwards. We're going to see how that goes. Maybe that can be a thing to do each week. We'll see how the members feel about it. But as always, thanks again for watching. See you on the next one.